navigate this in my way on my own, no matter the recourse or how I was received or things that happened along the way. I clung to, I want to do this as me. What it's given me over the years is a ton of freedom. Putting myself out there, or being vulnerable, or talking about the things that are not necessarily the highlight reel of my life, I'm doing that so that the people who need to hear that know there's a home base, and they know that there's a place for them. If I had stronger role models when I was growing up, my life could have been much different. And if I had an opportunity to connect with someone that really invoked powerful feelings, then maybe my life would have been less painful. It's not your regular dose of doTERRA leadership. It's always something different, and it's always new to me as well. Some of the stuff that I do and say is fresh off the press. I have no idea where it comes from.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Blue Diamond, Kim Camuso.
Probably a lot. Just fair warned, I have the tissue holstered. Actually, when Emily, look at me name dropping like 10 seconds out of the gate. When she asked me to present, at first I was like, oh my gosh. Usually when the big boss lady calls you, you've done something awesome, or not. And I've been on the not side a few times, most of my life, all my life. So immediately I wanted to puke, and I started thinking, did I say something? What did I reference in that last Instagram live? Did they not get the Gary Busey joke? Was it too far? And so she texted me, she's like, hey, you got a second to chat? And I was at a leadership retreat. And I was like, oh, this is my chance to show her I'm doing the work. I'm still in this, I'm blue, I'm still doing retreats, we're building. I said, I'm not available right now, I'm in California. But hope when I get home. And she goes, or now. Right now. So I go outside, and something I'd really like to encourage, the new sparkly silvers and golds, where are you guys at? Okay. When you meet Emily, you talk to Emily, hydrate first. Super important. I never cried before Emily, right? Now I cry all the time. She texts me, I cry. I call her, I cry. It's a gift. But you need to hydrate. It's very, very important. Whatever you gotta do. So I'm here to talk to you about being who you want to attract, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity because I never thought it would happen. And I come from a place of really deep, gnarly, negative programming. My family is chaos. And if you can believe it, I am the most sane, put together, conservative, well-rounded one in the bunch. And so sometimes when I think about sharing what my life has been like, I just shrink back. It's shameful. I don't want to talk about it. And so even this opportunity, when she first asked me to present, I was immediately bawling, crying, and uncontrollably sobbing. I had to use my parka to wipe my face off. I started thinking, what an opportunity. Oh my gosh, we made it. We did this. My people, my weirdos, this is huge. This is a big win for us. And then I started to think, oh, why? Why though? I'm not deserving. What have I done? This front row crew is thick. You guys scare me a lot. And I have tattoos close to my face. So it was very intimidating to think about what could I possibly share. So then this theme of courage came up. And I love this quote. Courage consists not in blindly overlooking danger, but in seeing it and conquering it. And I knew that any time in my life when I need to do scary stuff, it's because big things are on the horizon. Big things. And if you are in this leadership realm, you've done scary things to get here. Whether it's getting tagged in an online debate about lavender and estrogenic boobies on babies, or having your class of Panera Bread hoping the lush brunch hour doesn't get there and you just get swapped by people. It takes a lot of courage to do what we do. We're up against a beast of opposition and people that naysay and just want to judge. And I have had that my whole life. And so that's why I felt like I was kind of built for this. I'm built for tough, you know, I'm kind of girthy, rounded, strong. I could build doTERRA, I could do that, that's easy. But the courage is really what sets things in motion. And this is where I'm probably gonna cry, so just look away, shield your eyes. But I am in a really delicate place right now in my life. A lot of you that follow me on social media know that my husband and I are married to 12 years, we're done. And we're right in the middle of a divorce. I come back from this, we have a birthday for my daughter, and then he moves out. And I don't get to see my kids every day. And that is killing me. So to be up here on stage, to talk to you all, saying, be yourself, that's a big load to carry. And we all have excuses. I have builders that don't want to do classes because 20 minutes is too far to drive. And I'm in the middle of a divorce. And I'm still here. And I still want to be here with you all. And it's so important. And I know I'm not following the ex. I know I'm sorry. I'm sure everyone's like, rogue, she's gone rogue. It's not the ex. But all great things take courage. Every single thing we do takes courage. And that's so important. And so if you hear you've done the scary stuff, you're gonna do more scary stuff. And every single time that you feel your world is too heavy and you can't do it, it's because something greater is waiting for you and you just can't feel it yet. So I know there's a whole new life out there for me. And I'm in a place of love and grace and kindness, and I'm leaning into this with all I've got. And the thing that gives me the most safety, and the reason why I said yes today, is because my doTERRA family is everything. You guys have been so supportive and so loving and so kind and so just present with me. And you guys know I've been 5 years of chaos. It's been a good ride. And I don't know what else is coming, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You're gonna find out. It's gonna be awesome. But you have to have this courage. Our courage is what expands and accelerates our growth faster than anything else, faster than books, or your vision boards, or your Pinterest parties, or your make and takes. If you just jump into this with courage, you will go so far, so fast. And so, I'm here to talk to you about being yourself. And I know the tattooed chick up here saying, be yourself. It's really easy, right? I'm an easy sell on that. But I've been a lot of things, and I've grown. This is actually the more adult version of me that I've grown into. The original Kim 5 years ago was a hot mess. But a successful hot mess. So if any of you feel like that, you can do this. You can totally do this. One of the greatest compliments / insults that I get is, girl, you made it, I could do it. How hard could Blue Diamond really be? I mean, you did it. You're a mess. What are you doing? Tell me your secrets. No, don't, because it's kind of weird. But I really tried to commit to this, and so when I first had the doTERRA opportunity presented, which was basically like, I'm $10,000 behind in property taxes, and I can't stop spending money on Etsy. I was like, I need to make some money. I need to do something. I love the oils. And I started looking at the doTERRA leaders, AKA stalking them. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people are amazing. They're so polished, and they wore their retainers after their braces, and none of their teeth went crazy and have to spend $5 on Invisalign at 33. These people are amazing. I was like, they can cross their legs easily without throwing one over the other and pretending it's not uncomfortable. They like actually work out without just dressing in all black. So I just kept looking around and I'm like, you guys, I could never do this. But I can tell you how many succulents Sarah Jansen has in her bathtub, or the pattern of her new rug, or the workout Keely's doing, or I know a lot of things about a lot of y'all. And I had this moment of like, oh my gosh, I could never be that. I come from a family of divorce, ugly divorce. There's alcoholism in my family. There's tons of addiction. Lots of my family's been in jail. In and out. I'll give them credit, in and out. No serious offenders. I don't have to visit Uncle Bobby like once a month. But just things, pain, like physical abuse. I struggled with addiction for a long time because I didn't have these oils to heal. But my kids do. And I feel like such an awesome mom. And all the things that I struggle with, I healed because I have these oils and I have a community and I have people in my corner finally. And so jumping into this opportunity, I didn't really say yes to doTERRA, I said yes to me. So I'm gonna do this. I could do this. I could angry build for my dad to show him that his Russian-German heritage is intact and we're all gonna be okay. One of my kids. I knew I could do this. I knew I could. And I knew that I couldn't do it like anybody else. Frankly, I'd gone too far with the tattoos. There was no going back. This is permanent. I can't undo this, and I run really hot, and I'm always sweating. So covering it up was not an option either. I just need to rip with it. I just need to run with it. But I knew I needed to do it as me, and I needed to do it with my humor, and I knew I was going to grow, and it's been a messy growth. Anybody else messy growing here? Right? It's easy to ask for forgiveness, and I've gotten really good at saying sorry. I've gotten really good at listening, especially being in this business. But I knew that I couldn't be like these amazing leaders that are all over this room because they were amazing for themselves. They have a message that they uniquely need to carry. And so there was this moment where I thought, well, maybe I should run, lose weight, maybe I should get a juicer, maybe I should stop tattooing myself, maybe I should stop doing questionable things, maybe less bourbon in the summer. And then I was like, those are my best jokes come in the summertime because of the bourbon. It's so much funnier. If there's a giant hug on this stage, you'll find out. Whisk me away. I just asked executive team, can I keep my wholesale account? I mean, I just want to keep the products. I love the products. But when you're yourself, it's not just sharing a version of you that you think you are, it's the muck. It's the heavy stuff. It's the scary stuff. I wanted to be that leader that admitted I have anxiety. Horrible, crippling social anxiety. I smell terrible right now. I'm covered in Intune, Magnolia, Peppermint, Vetiver, all the ones that don't play well together. I'm covered in it. I smell terrible. People on the backstage are like, oh, what are essential oils? I'm like, don't smell me. It's not a good experience. But I feel really good in here, and I'm not passed out. So that's a good sign. But I just knew that I needed to share my life, all of it. And so each one of you that send me messages when I share something that's uncomfortable or makes me feel vulnerable, that means the world to me because I want you to know, like, we're out here. We're not all this idea of leadership that we assume, because really no one in these front row amazing seats are really telling us that we're less than. In fact, it's the opposite. I've had nothing but warm people receiving me in this company. And some of my greatest friends are top leaders, and I feel so blessed to know them. And that was motivating for me to get to those ranks so I could get creepy closer to you guys. See what oils you like, because I'm that close, literally smelling the back of your head. So, I'm excited to be here. But really, we have a unique message, and you can't do this like anybody else. And you're going to evolve in how you share, and you're going to really find your stride, even if you bump and crash and fail and flail a bunch of times. You're gonna get there. And you wanna show up in this way, and I think that what really resonates with me about this is that I've been really committed to staying myself. There's been times when I've compared myself to others and done a lot of self-loathing and maybe a few Chipotle stops in one day. So good. I would love Chipotle right now, so if anybody could Uber eat that over, that would be great. But we really all have a unique message, and I know that my stories are meant to be healed openly in front of people so that they can encourage others to heal themselves. It's just like the oils, right? I mean, the reason I left my job is because everyone came to me broken. They wanted me to fix them. I get to put the power back in people's hands. Like, I see you, and it gets better. I'm getting better. We're getting better together. We're sharing and we're present and we're in this. And that feels so much better than faking it. So much better. You're gonna lose people. There's gonna be some folks that don't like what you share and how you share, and that's okay. Your message isn't for them. And so I wanted to kind of talk about, my clicker would go. The freedom in doTERRA that we all have. And we hear about it. Financial freedom, absolutely. Time freedom. The ability to travel and give back on these co-impact source trips. and really being a part of the change and being a part of what the company represents, there is freedom all over the place. But freedom really happens when you get to be yourself. And that's where I feel the most freedom in my life, is that I can show up online looking like a wet version of MC Hammer, talking about patchouli for 30 minutes, and nobody bats an eye. I'm like, oh, that's just Kim. Kim's just doing her thing. I don't need to curl my hair, which I don't know how, by the way. I have two looks, like wild and unruly, and then this. So I chose this. Hopefully you guys like that. But you have to be yourself in that way, and we have to show up, and that freedom you have to talk to people as you are is what's going to propel you to keep doing this after 5 years. And we all feel this way, stuck in our business, things slow down, leaders fall off, but what attracts people to you is the message and the signal that you put out. And so having that ability to change, and I've changed rapidly over 5 years. It may not look like right now, because I'm still, again, permanent regret, heavily tattooed. But I've been able to grow and evolve in my leadership and in my identity. I've been able to rewrite how I think about relationships with women. I have understood and appreciated authority more. I have more structure in my life, and I've gotten all of these things from doing this business, but I'm still able to have fun sharing the way that I want to. Nobody's telling me what I can and can't, I mean, within reason. I mean, I have a general understanding of what I can and can't do. We had a couple pep talks before this where I had a few guidelines to follow, but I think I'm doing a really good job not saying any bad words or being weird, right? But when you're yourself, the world just opens up and you send out this signal that is so clear and so easy to receive that the right people will find you. And the thing that I love about my team, and I have some of them here, our Zoom calls, they get weird. They get awkward, even slightly uncomfortable, because when I get into a groove and I go off on a tangent, it makes sense to me, but to them, they're just like this. Is this over? She's done tangenting. But they love me for me, and they allow me to play in leadership, and they allow me to try things, and they allow me to evolve with them. And I can change my branding, and I can change how I look, and I can change what I do at any time, because there's that freedom to be yourself. And so I really want you to think about that. Are you showing up in your business and online and in your classes and to your leaders as you? Or a version of you that is what you feel like is appropriate? Now, I'm not saying, obviously, go crazy. It's not the Wild Wild West. But I am saying, be yourself and own that and love that. And I have learned to love myself in this journey with doTERRA. I have learned that I am worthy and deserving, and that there's a place for all of us, and there's enough to go around, and we all can do this. There are no excuses. We all can do this. And so I want to talk a little bit about attraction, because that is a huge part of what I think being yourself really brings into your life, is that you will bring to you exactly what you need. And so this is going to seem a little bit weird, but just run with it. I feel like my whole entire life has been leading up to this. The jobs that I had in the past, the careers that I had, the success I had before, those were just the warm-up. That was just the training. That was just me getting ready to do something incredible with my life. And I just didn't know what it was yet. I didn't know that it was going to be doTERRA. And the people I was bringing in have massively helped me heal. Massively. In ways that the decades of therapy I've been in couldn't even crack. And it came through sharing the oils and sharing our dreams and failing together and trying to pick up the pieces, bringing in new people and saying goodbye to ones that needed to go, understanding this journey is not linear, it's circular. I have gained so much in my life that has led me to this point of immense pain, because divorce is not ideal, and it's sad for everybody, and there's going to be a lot of hard things that come, but I'm so supported by people that love me, like indefinitely love me. And I feel safe in that. And I feel like I could do anything because of that. And this all started because I said yes. I said yes to being myself and sending out a signal that was going to bring the people in my life that I needed. And I know I've helped them in return. It's absolutely an exchange. I'm not just taking from people. But I know that this is exactly what I need. And my team, we are so small, but so mighty, and I'm so proud of them. When we hit Blue Diamond a year and a half ago, we had under 1,800 people on our team. and we had like 126,000 in volume. So our structure is tight. I don't have 1 million people, I have the right people. I'm not casting out a huge net. My net is strong. And the people that are here are doing this because they love what I love with me, and they show up as they are, and they're independent, and they want this, and we are figuring it out together. And there are no expectations. And our team culture is something that is so beautiful. We have transparent conversations, and we're honest, and we share our feelings, however hard they may be. And we're all growing and becoming better people, not just better salespeople, not better rank advancements. We are better because of doTERRA, and we are better because we found each other. And that wouldn't have happened if I showed up as anyone else other than me. And these people are my family, and many of you that aren't on my team, my cross-line sisters and brothers you guys are everything to me. I have been loved on so hard this trip. Every single one of you, making me cry all the time. Why are you doing that to me? But I honestly, really, truly appreciate that, because I need that right now. I need to feel safe. I need permission from you that I can continue to keep going. I want to be down on the ground. I want to be half couch, half burrito. But I can't. I know that there is this commitment to each other in this business and this journey that we all have. And even if you're not in my downline, I depend on you, you depend on me. You need me to show up, and I need you to show up. And I expect to see that from you, and your growth, and your trials and your challenges, and when you fall down. I want to be there in that. I want you to share that with the world, because how can we ever get back up if we don't fall down? And talk about it. So I'm so grateful for you guys right now. This has been a very, very healing leadership. But we have to really be mindful of the signal that we put out. That is probably one of the most important things you can do in your leadership, is understand you have an impact. There is a ripple effect that goes beyond what you're truly aware of. You are sending signals out to the universe, and people are receiving them, and they're finding you. And it's the most important thing you can do is you show up. Try not to be perfect, be present. Be okay with who you are. Be okay with it not looking perfect on paper, and the fact that maybe you come from a place of brokenness, but there's healing in brokenness. There's ways to find light again, even if you're in the darkness, and people can help you do that. They need to find you first. And so I'm going to try to save us some time, you guys, because I know how these shows go. So I'm going to try to get through this last slide. But this is really, when I thought about what the message would be, sorry I touch my heart a lot. I'm a very energetic person. I'm constantly tapping and being weird in front of everyone. But when I talk about the message of being who you want to attract, this image of a lighthouse came to mind. And this, I think, is probably what we have to embody as leaders. And this quote gives me all the feels, made me cry a few times. But inside my bottle, my empty bottle, I was constructing a lighthouse while others were making ships. And that's what we are. As leaders, we're lighthouses. We used to be ships. We built our ships. We head out on the ocean. We crashed. We burned. We built new ships. We thought we knew better. And then we realized we need to become something stronger, more resilient, something that's going to have more meaning and more impact. And that's being the lighthouse. You're here because you're a leader. You have people that look to you, that want to do what you're doing, that want to achieve what you're achieving. And if you're not embodying this beacon of light, people aren't going to find you. And so we all possess a lot of these skill sets that we need to get to these top ranks. It's just a matter of illuminating what you're good at. And the thing that I love about all of the StrengthsFinders tests and all of the things that we can learn through the builder guides is that you're already enough. How many times have we been told in our lives that you need to be this way or X, Y, and Z? You are already awesome as you are right now. Nothing needs to change about you if you don't want to. And you just need to learn how to lean into what makes you incredible. And that is our strengths. And so for a little while, I looked at my top strengths, because I consider myself to be a highly emotional person, as you witnessed these last 20 minutes. My top strengths are very aggressive. I have activator, achiever, and strategic, input, and communication. I got no woo, or empathy, or includer. I was just like, where are my emotions at? I'm like the hot mess leader. Why am I so robotic? But it took a little bit of relearning that these things that made me who I am. I look at like strategic, for an example. Does anybody else feel a little bit of shame around some of their strengths? I do. For me, strategic feels like manipulation. I grew up in a home where my mom struggled with alcoholism and my dad was working all the time. When he was home, he was physically abusive, and so I was the mom from like 8 and up. I was taking care of kids and packing lunches and knowing when to stay out of their way and knowing what set things off and what made things worse. So I've been strategic to survive. So when I saw that as a top strength, it felt like manipulation. It felt like, am I strategic because I know how to see problems and fix them, or how do I lean into this in a good way? But I do see that as a strength. I see that strategy is really just a way of clearing pathways for people to follow. And strategy can really just be, I'm going to help you do this more efficiently and have your life be a little easier versus feeling like you're tweaking or manipulating things. And for me, it was a little bit hard to realize I was already good enough for a long time. And I wanted to think about all the ways that I lacked. And we all do the comparison thing. I did that right out the gates when I was deciding whether or not I was going to build doTERRA. I compared myself to Keely and Aubrey and Jenna, and I looked at them and was like, I don't even know what a blog is. I don't know where you buy all these cool things. Nothing in my house is pastel or muted. I don't own any of those hair products. I have no fashion sense. I could never. Who would listen to me? I had half a shaved head back then. Did I shave it? When did I shave it? Who knows? I wasn't on that level. And I remember just thinking to myself, I could never do this. I'm not like them. They have it together. They're poised and graceful, and they all get together at Easter, and there's 20 grandkids, and all the aunts and uncles are fine, and nobody's wearing tube tops. Like, I just could never be that. But it truly does drain you. And now I realize the tube top, overall wearing family members of mine are hysterical. And they're the best ones to take pictures with when they fall asleep places. Really, there is joy there in some way, and it's my joy, and that's okay. But really, what it comes down to is that, don't get lost in looking at what everyone else is doing. We say this a lot, stay in your lane, but illuminate your lane. Decorate your lane, have parties in your lane, invite people into your lane, but do it your way. I promise you it's gonna feel so amazing when you wake up every single day excited to build, excited to share, excited to grow, excited to connect, because you get to be yourself. I never dread a day of work, even when I have back-to-back things that are just absolutely impossible for me to wrap my entire head around how I'm gonna get it all done, but I know I could just show up as I am right now. And I don't need to pretend to be something else. I get to just be myself, and that's good enough. And we'll figure it out, and we'll get there, and we'll go Pres someday, and we'll do whatever we want to do because we're awesome. Everyone on my team is amazing, and we love each other deeply. So I just want to close with this idea, and I'm not a great closer, so this idea is going to be really short. I'm going to do an awkward and scene, and then probably fake moonwalk out of here, and just be done as quickly as I can. So, please do not think for one single second that you can't do this business for yourself, as yourself. Lean into the messy. Lean into the stuff that doesn't make sense. Lean into the days that are not so great, but lift yourself up higher. That's your job. We have a great community that will also support you, but you have to feel strong on your own. And that strength comes from this freedom and this courage to be yourself, and that's what's going to allow you to navigate really uncertain territory. And that's what lies ahead of us, is uncertain, big, ginormous, amazing, incredible territory of disrupting healthcare and becoming more than just an essential oil company. We are changing the world, and you have to have courage in that. So, get ready for the awkward. I practiced this one. I didn't, just kidding. I didn't practice any of this. This was all just off the top of my head. I did do the stars. I did do that. But if you're not shining your light brightly, like blinding people, like you're in a new F-150 and they're halogen bulbs and you're so sorry it's lifted and that little Tacoma is just getting blasted in the face and you're so sorry, but it's a new truck and you love it, and you're not going to take it back, so shield your eyes. If you're not shining your light brightly, how will anybody